Hi everyone, this is Anna Finch from Finch Press. Now, today's video is basically just a bit about my experience with setting up an account with IngramSpark, with Kobo and with Draft2Digital. Now, I will start with Kobo first, because that was the simplest when it comes to the application. So with Kobo, creating an account for Kobo Writing Life account or the writer's account is super easy. You literally just press create account, you write your email, you write your name, you write your email and your password. Activate the account from the email you send, and you just fill in the form. So there's information about, there's terms and conditions you need to sign in, there's key details about name, address, contact details, all that sort of stuff. Business name, I think, is one of them. And basically that just sets it up. You will need to also put in your payment information, so bank account details. I don't think you can get paid through PayPal through this, so I haven't filled that in because I need to actually create one for the business, but I can't do that until my business name is paid for and through. And if you are publishing under a business name, then I highly suggest you have a separate business account where you put any income that you get from books into that account. Same with any expenses for running or promoting and everything from the same thing. It helps keep it separate, and it also helps keep track of the in and out of money, and it makes it a whole lot easier for your tax agent. Do recommend it. I'm planning on doing it. But I've got to wait to pay for my business name first. So you need to put your account information, and they don't withhold any tax. So Kobo doesn't withhold any tax, so no tax is taken out, nothing like that. So the money you receive from Kobo, and from what I remember, you receive a pay at the end of each month. I don't know if they pay a month afterwards, so say the month of July you earn $50 and they pay you, I don't know if they pay you at the end of July or they pay you at the end of August. Yeah. So, but they pay you once a month. They pay you at the end of the month or for the end of the month. But you need to meet the threshold, which is about $50 US, which makes it about 70 Australian dollars. So you need to have earned that much in a month in order to get it transferred. And this can be pretty difficult if you only have, this will be pretty difficult if you only have one book and you are not selling, because these ebooks, the ebooks are generally about $3 and you get 70% of it, which is a good royalty share. You get 70% of that. So it may take, you may need, depending on what your cost of your ebook is, you may need to pay, you may need to sell maybe 100 books or 100 copies before you get the first pay from Kobo. But again, simplest version of it. It was the simplest account to set up. I didn't need to fill in any US tax forms. I didn't need to put my ABN in there. They just send you, at the end of each month, they give you a sales report with how much you earned, how many sales were made, things like that. And you can just keep it as a record. Right, print it out each month for the financial year, keep it as a record. And you just hand it to your tax agent to say, yep, I got money from this, and money from this. And I'm pretty sure it's in total, so you can, if you have multiple books, you can get it all in total. But Kobo was the easiest to set up. No complicated forms, no complicated questions. Super easy. And I was done with filling in the information, at least what I could, because I can't put bank account details yet. It took me less than 2 minutes to finish the form and create an account. It's all set up. All I need to do is update payment details, and I'm done. And payment details and add my book, and I'm done with that. Kobo, you can publish ebook. They have now some connections to print, but I'm not worried with that because I'm printing directly with Ingram, a print-on-demand company. They do audiobook, so you can make an audiobook and upload it directly to Kobo, even if you're in Australia. So ACX, I think is the right term, isn't available for Australians as of yet. So if you are writing an audiobook and you're from Australia, or you're outside of the US, it's basically impossible to publish directly with ACX an audiobook. So if you're not a US person from the US, Canada and the UK, I think, ACX, you can't do audiobooks, not directly. You would have to go through a third party, which would be Findaway Voices, which is the one I've looked at, and is pretty good because they publish it to other platforms. But Kobo allows you to do audiobook, ebook. They also have this thing where they will give you merchandise placement on their website. I think it's a website. Merchandise placement for new releases. So if you have a new release, they will advertise for you, put you in the new release section. You do need to give them 2 months of notice. So you need to tell them 2 months in advance. So I think that would be, so 2 months before the release date. I don't know how it works if you've got pre-orders. Don't know yet. But 2 months in advance, and they'll basically view product placement. If you don't tell them that, hey, this is a new release, they're not going to give you merchandise placing. So if you do use Kobo, hot tip, tell them that if it's a new release, tell them that. And you can get a bit of free advertising, basically, or free visibility. Social promotion. So if you tag Kobo Writing Life on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, they may, so this not guarantee, they may engage with your content and your audience to increase visibility. And you can also do a universal link creator that you can put on your website, and they'll give you an image so you can connect with the link to send people directly there. Okay, Draft2Digital is the next one. Now, Draft2Digital, simple format. The account, seriously, just to create the account, even if you wanted to format the book only instead of publish, easy. Literally, just name, email, password. That's it. You fill in your other details about who you are, where you live, and all that sort of stuff later, but at least you will need your name, login, so your email and your password. You do need to fill in contact details. They give you a number of options for pay, so you can do direct transfer, you can do it through PayPal, Pioneer, but I've got to check to see if it only transfers in US dollars or if it can transfer to the currency I want. If it's transferring through bank internationally, then it will transfer into the local currency, but I don't know about Pioneer or PayPal, which is an option. My only worry is if I use PayPal, at least for Draft2Digital or even for Ingram, if it's transferred in US dollars, I will have to convert it into Australian dollars before transferring it into my account, which means I will lose money in the conversion, in the fee for the conversion, and in the fee to transfer it into my account through PayPal. So 3 times I would lose money from it. And if you're not making much sales, not a great idea. But if the bank transfer is too complicated, then I'll have to use PayPal. But it shouldn't be. So it should be okay to use a bank account. It's because I'm from Australia. Again, everything's a bit tricky if you're from Australia. So there's that. That's pretty much all you really have to do with Draft2Digital. You upload your book afterwards, you input the metadata, and you basically hit publish. And that's it. It sends it to all the websites, and I think they tell you when it's uploaded. But with Draft2Digital, if all you want to do is use their platform to format your books for free, this is print and ebook, you can. They have a number of styles. The formatting is not wow, but it is decent, especially if you can't afford vellum. If you don't have a Mac and you can't afford vellum, or using the iCloud software to allow you to use vellum on a PC, if you can't afford a professional formatter for either print or ebook, this can work, and you can download it and you will have a ready file for you to use on Ingram, for example. So there's that as well. They have a whole bunch of nifty options and things for that. They are trialing. They're currently planning on trialing D2D print, so you can publish your print and ebook with Draft2Digital, which is something new. I'm going to be watching a video about that later, so there's that as well. Also, Draft2Digital automatically withholds 30% tax automatically wholds 30% tax that is given to the IRS, I think, in the US, from all payments for all payments towards non-US citizens. If you are not a US citizen or you don't live in the US, you can still publish with D2D, but you're going to have 30% tax withheld. Now, Australia has a deal with the US, a tax deal. We pay tax, but it's like 10-15% instead of 30%. So the tax percentage is lower, or in some cases, it used to be, I think, we paid no tax between us. But it may be about 15%. Again, I would talk to your tax agent, especially if you're in Australia first. If you pay tax through D2D for publishing and on your royalties, do you have to pay tax in Australia? I would check that. But you need to fill in a form in order to access that deal that the US has with Australia, or the deal the US has with UK or whatever. So you need to actually fill in the tax form. I haven't filled it in yet. I'm planning to, but from what I've looked at, it is confusing, the tax form. Signing up for Draft2Digital isn't, but the tax form is. And currently my only options for ebook publishing are Ingram, Kobo Direct, which will limit ebook sales to other places and platforms, D2D. There are others, but they're not that great. So my only other option is to publish my ebook directly with Ingram, but it means that I lose out on the potential promotions for Kobo and the percentage rates, because the royalty rates direct are a lot better than the royalty rates you get through Ingram, and they're a lot better. The royalty rates you get through D2D for the various ebook platforms is a lot better than the rates you get from Ingram when it comes to ebook sales. So there's that. So the tax form, from what I've looked at, is confusing. And if you don't understand legal terms, which I've got some background in law, speak with a solicitor or your tax agent and get them to explain it to you. Don't sign anything without understanding what you're signing. If you sign something, you are bound by law to that contract. If you tick the box for, accept all terms and conditions without reading it, it's automatically assumed that you know what you were doing. So you can't turn around and say, oh, but I didn't know that so-and-so, if you did this and this, my account would get cancelled. That's not an excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse in law, regardless of it's Australia or the US or the UK or any other country. Ignorance is not an excuse unless you can't read the language, and even then you are expected to at least attempt to get some sort of translation. So read before you sign anything, especially if it's a tax form or an Australian, if Australian US form, doesn't matter. If it's a form that gets sent to the government, make sure you understand the conditions and the penalties if you screw up. Sorry, tangent. So Draft2Digital, fairly simple. It was pretty quick and easy, so I have no complaints with Draft2Digital or Kobo. Ingram. Now, I set up my Ingram account. Creating one, no worries. Basically just putting your business contact info, your actual name, security question. You need to sign agreements. You're not bound to. So if you sign those agreements, you're not bound. You're bound in that if you publish print, you're bound to those agreements. But if you're only intending on publishing ebook, you're only bound to the ebook agreements. So you're only bound to the ones for when you use it. So it's basically saying, yep, you accept it, and that you basically agree to the terms. Most of the terms are fairly understandable, reasonable. You're not forced to go exclusive with Ingram, so you can publish with Ingram, you can publish directly with Amazon, you can publish directly with Apple, or Google as well. Google Play, you can publish directly with Google Play because Google Play is not on their list of ebook platforms that they publish to. So that's one that you can do. I looked at Google Play, and I'll talk about Google Play later. But anyway, you fill in those forms, you create your account. You do need to add business details. They will not let you upload a book, and they will not pay you until, they will not allow you to publish a book unless they have payment details, because if you make money, they need somewhere to send it to. So you've got bank. You can transfer through bank, or you can transfer through PayPal. Now, there are restrictions on this. If you want to use PayPal, you are only going to be paid in US currency. They will not pay you for your sales in Australian dollars, UK pounds, New Zealand dollars. No. They will only pay you in US dollars. They will put it in directly into your PayPal account if you don't feel confident enough in giving your bank account details, which frankly I really don't, but that's a different matter. So you can do that. They will put the money in your account. I think the threshold, they'll put the money in your account for PayPal, and you can transfer from PayPal to your bank account in your own country into your own currency. But again, conversion fees, you lose money in conversion, because 50 US dollars is 70 Australian dollars, but you're going to lose money in the conversion. So it'll probably end up being about 65. You're going to lose money in the fees for converting it. And if your bank charges fees, you're going to lose money in that too. So 3 things. With bank transfer or electronic transfer, you can pick your own currency. So you can pick US if you're US, Australian if you're Australian dollars, one in Australian dollars, New Zealand dollars, pounds, euro, that whole thing. But again, bank transfer, the positive of that is it's paid directly to you. You don't have to mess around and work out where's the money sent. You can just do it through online banking, and it's already in your own currency. So that's whatever money you earned in US dollars has already been converted for you and transferred for you. So you're not paying any real fees for that. Tax. Now, you do need to give tax information. From what I understand, you will need to give your ABN. If you're Australian, you will need to give them your ABN and your TFN, so tax file number. I haven't filled that part in yet because I need to fill in the payment details before I can get to that. But so far, creating the account with Ingram has been fairly simple. It's been pretty easy. I mean, there's more questions and things you have to fill out than, say, Draft2Digital or Kobo. But in general, the experience of creating it has been okay. It wasn't that It wasn't that hard or difficult. The words used in it was basic English, so it wasn't that bad. Publishing or uploading to Ingram will probably be a different story, because I've already tried out D2D, Draft2Digital. Easy upload, and basically fill in all the metadata and hit publish, and it's simple. I've already had a look at that. Kobo looks to be the same. Haven't used it yet, uploaded yet. I'll leave that review later for it. Same with Draft2Digital when I actually go hit publish. Ingram, from everything the other authors have said on AuthorTube and BookTube, is more complex. And contacting them was usually a painful process. I haven't found that with Ingram, at least Ingram Australia. When I send the email to Ingram Australia, or at least the email that Australians can use for it, I got a response within less than 24 hours, and the person that responded through email was very friendly. I had no issues. Same with Kobo. I haven't had contact like that with D2D, but still some time for that. So at this stage, the ability to set up an account with Kobo, Draft2Digital, and Ingram are about the same level. Ingram being the more complex, because it does ebook and print, and it also does distribution as well to multiple platforms. But setting up the account, easy, relatively easy. The most complex thing for Draft2Digital would be the US tax form. Ingram, again, I haven't done the tax bit, so maybe difficult, may not be. Kobo, you don't need to fill in anything for tax. They'll just send the money to you, and then you're responsible for getting all the tax on it done. I mentioned Google Play earlier. You can publish directly to Google Play. I do not intend to do that, not yet, because at the moment, publishing to Google from Australia is a nightmare. There are so many hoops to go through from what I've read, and just filling out and reading the information about how to publish to Google Play from Australia or from a country outside the US was too complicated. And so frankly, I'm not publishing with them directly as of yet. If the process is a bit more streamlined for people who live outside the US, maybe. If Draft2Digital adds Google Play to their distributors, then I'll publish through Draft2Digital, but not directly. Even though the royalty is a lot better, I'd rather not publish directly to Google, even though it is a good platform to publish to when it comes to visibility and searchability. Anyway, that's pretty much it from this. When I finish, when I get my ISBNs, I'll talk about how to do it, and my experience with that. But that's pretty much it. If you are interested in getting some writing tips, or interested in just some daily inspirational quotes, or writing prompts and access to suggestions for resources to improve your own writing, you can follow me on my Facebook page, which is basically Anna Finch Author. So facebook.com/Anna Finch Author, and you can basically follow me there, and I try to upload daily. I'm also currently trying to upload daily, or weekly at least, my NaNoWriMo progress when it comes to my goals. I will eventually post things like giveaways and ARC reviews on Facebook and on YouTube as well. If you're interested, check that out. If you liked this video, hit the like button and hit subscribe if you want to be notified when I upload. See ya.